Hi there, you are tuned into Maths with AD. Before I continue, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. By subscribing to my channel, you will be notified every time I post a new video. To all those who have already liked, shared and subscribed to my channel, thank you very much. Please continue to do so. Today's lesson is collecting data and representing information on a tally chart. Data handling simply means a collection of data. Another word for data is information. So we are collecting data or information through a survey. Now, what is a survey, you might ask? A survey is a general study of a topic through a research or practical assessment. Now, when I talk about topic, your topic can be a variety of topics that you choose from. It could be about pupils' favorite foods or their favorite sports or their favorite subjects. You can choose from a whole variety of topics. Now, in order to do a survey on the topic that you choose, you can do research on that topic or you could do a practical assessment. How do we do practical assessments? The first method is, or one of the methods is, that you can draw up a questionnaire. A questionnaire is a piece of paper that has a question about the topic. In other words, if you want to know about pupils' favorite food, your questionnaire will be, which is your favorite food? And you give them an option to choose from, whether it's burgers, pizzas, hot dogs, or chips. Right, and they tick in the block according to which is their favorite food. You collect this information and you can do your counting from these questionnaires. Another way to do a survey is to do an interview. An interview is where you ask the person about their favorite food or whatever the topic requires you to ask them. And you can count or calculate your information by asking a group of people the same question. Right, and another way of doing a survey is by observing. Now, when you observe, you go out there and you watch or see what is happening around you in order to collect this information about your topic. Now, Shera needed to know what is the most popular color of car in her town. So she has a topic here, and the topic is the most popular color of car in her town. She needs to find out which is the most popular color of car in her town. So she decided to stand in a parking lot of a shopping mall and count the cars of different colors that entered the parking. Do you know which way of collecting information she is doing? Yes, she is doing the method by which she observes. She is going to observe and count. She's going to actually stand there and count the number of cars in the different colors. Okay, so this method of doing a survey is by observing. She needed to stand or sit in a safe place for only a couple of hours. Now, when you are doing the survey, you need to remember some very, very important points. You have to be in a safe place. Okay, if the place is not safe, please do not go out there and do the survey. Or you could do the survey with adult supervision. Okay, and then you are going to be safe. Also, when you are doing a survey, you have to limit the time in which you are doing the survey. Shera cannot stand there the entire day counting the different colors of cars that come in to this parking lot. So she decides to do it for a couple of hours. She could decide to do it only for 1 hour or only for 2 hours or for as long as she wants to do it. You don't have to do it for very long. So limiting your time is very important. Making sure that you are in a safe place when doing a survey, especially through observation, is very important. Now she chose only to count the number of cars that were red, blue, yellow, and green. Now we know that there are so many different color cars that you get nowadays. You get gold cars and you get purple cars and pink cars and neon cars. There are so many different variety of colors of cars that we get. But she chose only to count the cars that were red, blue, yellow, and green. Why? Why can't she count all the different colors of cars? Well, because if she has chosen to count each and every different color of car that you have on the market, her survey would be too crowded. There will be so much of information on all the different colors of cars. It's going to be difficult for her to manage it. So in order to make it easier for her, she chose 4 main categories of colors to choose from, and that is red, blue, yellow, and green. She doesn't want a survey to be too crowded. She doesn't want too much of information, and she doesn't want it to be difficult to manage. So she limits her categories of colors to red, blue, yellow, and green. That is very important. Shera needed to record her findings on a piece of paper. She can't just sit there and remember all the different colors of cars that come into the parking lot by just looking at it and observing. She needs to write down what she sees, what she observes. So she decided to use the tally method of counting. What is the tally method of counting? Tallies are marks or strokes that are made in a row or drawn in a row, especially when we are counting objects one at a time. For example, if we are counting sheep one at a time, we do this. For every sheep that I count, I draw 1 stroke. If I saw 2 sheep, I will draw 2 strokes. If I have seen 3 sheep, then I have drawn 3 strokes side by side. 4 strokes means that I have seen 4 sheep. Now, if I see 5 sheep, if I have counted up till 5 sheep. Now, this is very important and pay careful attention. My 5th stroke is not going to be next to the 4th stroke. Rather, the 5th stroke is going to cross out the 4 upright or the 4 vertical strokes. I'm going to repeat that. Your 5th stroke is going to cut across the 4 vertical strokes. Why? Why do I have to cut out the 4 strokes with my 5th strokes? With my 5th stroke? Imagine putting my strokes one by one next to each other in this fashion. What do you notice? The strokes are close together. It's going to make it difficult for me to count these strokes one at a time, one by one. If I have a whole lot of strokes like this next to each other, I will have to count one at a time, count in ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I make a mistake, I will have to start all over again, counting in ones. So to avoid making mistakes and to avoid getting confused, we decided to, or the tally method decided to use 4 strokes as 4 animals, but 5 strokes or the 5th stroke cutting across the 4 strokes to represent the number 5. It makes it much easier to count in 5. So the moment we reach 5, the 5th stroke cuts across the 4 upright strokes to represent the number 5. Now, if I have counted one more sheep, then I will draw a separate stroke away from this 5. So now I know that instead of counting all over again in ones 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can simply count this symbol that represents 5 plus 1, and I can say that I have counted 6 sheep up till now. One more sheep means 5 plus 2. Now I have counted 7 sheep. One more stroke next to these 2 means that I have counted 5 plus 3 more sheep. Now I have counted 5 plus 3, which is 8 sheep. 5 plus 4, now I have counted 9 sheep. What will happen if I have counted 10 sheep? Again, there are 4 strokes in a row. If I draw the 5th stroke, cutting across the 4 strokes, the 4 upright or vertical strokes, then that means I have counted another 5 sheep. And 5 plus 5 gives me 10 sheep altogether. Just remember, boys and girls, it's very important. It's easier to count in 5s than to count in 1s. We only count in 1s for 1, 2, 3, and 4. The fifth object that we count has a 5th stroke that cuts across the 4 that's already there, and that stands for 5. Alright, now getting back to Shera's question. She needed to stand in the parking lot. She needed to count the red cars, blue cars, green cars, and yellow cars that came into the parking lot in the time that she needed to be there, for just a couple of hours. She needed to record her information on a tally chart or a frequency table. As I said, you can't just remember how many cars came in or what different color cars came in just by observing. You have to record what you see. You have to record your findings. So she drew up a tally table. In one column, she has the different colors of cars that she's going to observe. The red cars, blue cars, green cars, and yellow cars. In the second column, she's going to be drawing her strokes. These are her tallies that she's going to be drawing every time she sees a different color car. For instance, if she sees one red car, she will make 1 stroke. If she sees 2 red cars, she will draw 2 strokes next to each other to represent 2 red strokes. Alright, a frequency now means the whole number or the total of all the strokes that's drawn for the red cars. For instance, if she has seen 3 green cars, there would be 3 strokes next to each other, and the frequency will be the number 3. Okay, let's get started. She has seen 1 red car, so 1 stroke goes in the tally column next to the red. She has seen 2 red cars now, so there's 2 strokes in the red row. Now she has seen a blue car, so she has placed a stroke or drawn a stroke in the row that's counting the blue cars. She has seen a green car now, so there's 1 stroke for green. She has seen the second blue car, so now there's 2 strokes for blue. 1 yellow car, and there's 1 stroke for the yellow. And she's going to continue counting. 1 more for blue. Another 1 for blue. Okay, now if you look carefully, you can see so far she has counted 2 red cars. She has counted 4 blue cars. She has counted 1 green car and 1 yellow car. Okay, now she's going to continue her counting. Another red car. So now she has counted 3 red cars altogether. another yellow car. So the total so far for the yellow is 2 yellow cars. 1 red, 1 blue. Okay, now if you look carefully, she has counted 5 blue cars. Up till this moment, she has counted 5 blue cars. Now, can you see how easy it is to count in fives by placing the 5th stroke across the 4 upright strokes? We don't have to count in ones anymore. We can simply say that this symbol represents 5, represents the number 5. Now we're going to count in fives after this. Right. Okay, so there's another one for blue. But now remember, before I count in fives, look carefully. I first have to gather more strokes, and only when I count another 5 strokes, then only can I strike off those single strokes. So at the moment, Shera counted 5 blue cars plus 1 more blue car. There's no strikeout over a single stroke. There's no strikeout over 2 strokes or 3 strokes. There's only a strikeout over 4 strokes only if you have counted the 5th object. Okay, so 5 plus 1 equals 6 blue cars up till this point. Shera continues to count another green car. So now she has counted 2 green cars and 5 plus 2, which is 7 blue cars, 1 yellow, 1 more for yellow, another one for blue, another stroke for yellow. So, wow, look at this. She has counted 5 yellow cars altogether. She's not counting the strokes in ones anymore. Now she can count the strokes when it is in the symbol as 5. Okay, so she has placed another stroke for blue. Now she has counted 5 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. The single strokes can be counted in ones, but when we count 4 with a stroke that is across the 4, this represents 5. 5 plus 4 single strokes represents 9, represents the number 9. And there's a 5th car for the red. She has now counted 5 cars for red, so her 5th stroke goes across the 4 upright strokes. She continues counting another car for yellow, so now she's got 6. Another car for red, so the red cars are now 6. Green has 1 more car, so now there's 3 green cars. Blue has another 5. Wow, now blue has 5 plus 5, which makes 10. So she has counted 10 blue cars altogether. There's another one for yellow, and there's another one for red. Now, boys and girls, look carefully. Look very carefully at your tally strokes. These are your tallies. All right. In order to do a frequency, or in order to write the frequency amount, which means I need to write the whole number for all the red cars that Shera has counted. Instead of counting in ones now, I can count this as 5 plus 2, which gives me 7. There you go. And I can count this as 5 plus another 5, which gives me 10. Green cars, she has only seen 3 of them. So, she has seen 3 green cars. Yellow cars were 5 plus 2, which makes 7. Okay, remember, you can't strike out 1 single stroke, 2 single strokes, 3 single strokes, or even 4 single strokes if you only counted up till 4. You only strike out 4 strokes. You can only strike out 4 strokes if you have counted the 5th object. Okay, because the 5th stroke is actually the one that's striking the 4 upright ones. I hope you understand that. Okay, so now that Shera has counted all these cars in the couple of hours that she was in the parking lot, she can now answer her question. Can you remember what the question was to her survey? To find out which was the most popular car in her town. So what can Shera derive from this tally chart? She can safely say that by looking at these tallies and by looking at the frequency, she can safely say that the blue cars were the most. So the blue cars were the most popular cars in her town. It's as simple as that. You can also ask a whole variety of questions just by looking at this tally chart or frequency table. You can ask a question like, which was the least popular color of cars that are in her town? And the answer would be green. Green is the least popular color. Another question that could be asked was, which colors have the same popularity? And the answer would be red and yellow. They both are equally popular in her town. Both those colors of cars are equally popular. You could also ask a question of, what is the difference between the blue cars that she has counted and the red? Now, whenever you hear or see the word difference, it means you need to subtract. You need to subtract the bigger amount. Right, the difference between the blue is 10 minus the difference between the blue and the red is 10 minus 7. So she has seen 3. The difference is 10 minus 7 is 3. She has seen 3 more blue cars compared to the red, or you could say she had seen 3 less red cars compared to the blue. You could also ask a question like, what is the total amount of cars that she counted in the time that she was in the parking lot? And what do you think your answer would be? You can quickly add the number of red cars, blue, green, and yellow cars. So you add 7 plus 10, which is 17. 17 plus 3 is 20. And 20 plus 7 will give you 27. She has counted 27 cars in the time that she was in the parking lot. Well, Shera, you have done a great job by observing, doing a survey through observation, and you have recorded your information on a tally chart. Boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe so that you can keep in touch with all the latest videos that I post on this channel. And I'm going to be doing many more videos on data handling. Thank you very much. Goodbye.